How vaccines work. Level B, 2. Upper intermediate. When you think about vaccines, you probably imagine a quick shot at the doctor's office and a small bandage on your arm. It might seem simple, just an injection, and you're protected. But behind that tiny needle lies one of the most fascinating and powerful inventions in human history. Vaccines have saved millions of lives and completely changed the course of medicine. To understand how they work, we first need to explore the incredible defense system inside your body, the immune system, the body's natural defense. Your body is like a well-protected fortress. Every day, countless viruses and bacteria try to invade it. The immune system acts as the army that guards the gates. When a harmful germ enters, the immune system recognizes it as an enemy and launches an attack. It sends out special cells that destroy the invader or stop it from spreading. But here's the clever part. Once your body fights off a germ, it remembers it. Special memory cells stay in your system, ready to act fast if the same germ attacks again. This is why you usually get chickenpox only once your body learns and never forgets that particular virus. The secret behind immunity. This memory is what vaccines use to protect us, but without making us sick. A vaccine introduces a harmless version of the pathogen, the virus or bacteria that causes disease, into your body. It can be a dead or weakened form of the germ, or even just a small part of it, like a protein from its surface. Your immune system reacts to this fake threat as if it were real. It builds defenses, learns to recognize the intruder, and creates memory cells. So later, when the real pathogen appears, your body already knows what to do. It attacks instantly, before the infection can make you seriously ill. In other words, a vaccine gives your immune system a training session, like a rehearsal before the real performance. A brief look at history. The idea of vaccination is not new. It goes back more than 200 years to the late 18th century, when an English doctor named Edward Jenner made a shocking discovery. He noticed that milkmaids who had caught cowpox, a mild disease, seemed to be protected from smallpox, which was deadly. Jenner tested his theory by infecting a young boy with cowpox and later exposing him to smallpox. The boy did not get sick. That was the birth of the world's first vaccine. Since then, vaccines have evolved and expanded to protect us from dozens of diseases: measles, polio, tetanus, influenza, and more. They have turned deadly illnesses into rare or completely eliminated conditions. Smallpox, for instance, was officially declared eradicated in 1980, thanks to global vaccination campaigns, a victory of science over one of humanity's oldest enemies. The different types of vaccines. Not all vaccines work in exactly the same way. Scientists have created several types to train the immune system safely and effectively. Let's take a closer look at them. 1. Live attenuated vaccines. These vaccines use a weakened version of the actual germ. Because it's so weak, it can't cause the real disease, but it's strong enough to make your immune system react. Examples include the vaccines for measles, mumps, rubella, and chickenpox. Think of it like showing your body a criminal who has already been handcuffed, dangerous in theory, but no longer a real threat. The advantage of live vaccines is that they give very long-lasting protection, sometimes for life, because they imitate a real infection closely. However, they are not used for people with very weak immune systems, since even a weakened germ could be risky in those cases. 2. Inactivated vaccines. Inactivated vaccines use dead germs, ones that can't reproduce or cause disease at all. They are completely safe, but since they don't make the immune system work as hard, people usually need booster shots to maintain protection. Examples: polio, hepatitis A, and rabies vaccines. You can imagine this as showing your immune system a wanted poster of the criminal. Instead of the criminal himself, it still learns who the enemy is, just in a safer way. 3. Subunit and toxoid vaccines. Sometimes scientists only use a small piece of the germ, like a protein from its surface, or a toxin that it produces. These pieces are harmless on their own, but they teach the immune system exactly what to look for. For example, the whooping cough and tetanus vaccines use this method. These vaccines are very precise, like giving your immune system a close-up photo of the intruder's face. However, because they don't show the full germ, they often need boosters or special ingredients called adjuvants to strengthen the immune response. 4. mRNA and vector vaccines, the new generation. In recent years, new technologies have changed the world of vaccines. The mRNA vaccines, like the ones developed for COVID-19, don't use any virus at all. Instead, they deliver a small piece of genetic code that teaches your cells to make a harmless version of a viral protein. When your immune system sees that protein, it learns to recognize and destroy it, just as if you had met the real virus. Vector vaccines, such as the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, work in a similar way, but they use a harmless carrier virus to deliver the genetic instructions. Both types have proven that modern science can react faster than ever to new diseases, creating vaccines in months instead of years. Why vaccines don't cause the disease. Some people worry that vaccines might make them sick. But here's the truth. Vaccines are designed precisely to avoid that. In live vaccines, the germ is so weak, it can't cause illness in healthy people. Inactivated and subunit vaccines contain no live components at all. And mRNA vaccines never enter your DNA. They only give temporary instructions and then disappear from your body within days. After a vaccination, some people experience mild side effects like soreness, fatigue, or a small fever. These are not signs of danger. They are proof that your immune system is working, training, and building protection. How herd immunity works. Vaccines not only protect individuals, they also protect entire communities. When enough people are immune to a disease, it becomes much harder for the infection to spread. This is called herd immunity. It's especially important for people who can't get vaccinated, like newborns or those with serious illnesses. So every vaccination is an act of collective defense, a small contribution to a safer world. The future of vaccines. Vaccines have come a long way since Edward Jenner first used cowpox to protect against smallpox more than 200 years ago. But science never stands still. The vaccines of the future may look very different from what we know today. 1. Personalized vaccines. One of the biggest goals in modern medicine is personalization. Scientists dream of creating vaccines that are custom-made for each person. For example, in cancer treatment, researchers are already working on personalized cancer vaccines. These use the patient's own genetic information to design a vaccine that helps their immune system recognize and destroy tumor cells. It's a completely new use of the same basic principle, teaching the body what to fight. 2. Universal vaccines. Some viruses, like the flu, change so quickly that people need a new shot every year. Scientists are now trying to create universal vaccines, ones that work against all versions of a virus. A universal flu vaccine, for instance, would recognize the parts of the virus that never change, giving long-term protection even as the virus mutates. The same idea is being explored for coronaviruses and HIV. 3. Needle-free vaccines. For many people, the worst part of getting vaccinated isn't the idea, it's the needle. That's why new delivery systems are being developed. Future vaccines may come as nasal sprays, pills, or even tiny patches that stick to your skin. Some of these patches use microscopic needles that you can barely feel. They dissolve after delivering the vaccine safe, painless, and easy to distribute. Imagine being able to receive a vaccine in the mail, apply it yourself, and be protected without ever visiting a clinic. 4. Nanotechnology and AI. Nanotechnology and artificial intelligence are also changing vaccine design. Nanoparticles can act as tiny delivery vehicles, helping vaccines reach the right cells in your body. Meanwhile, AI can analyze huge amounts of data to predict how viruses might mutate, allowing scientists to design vaccines before a new outbreak even happens. This combination of biology, data, and engineering is making vaccine research faster, smarter, and more precise than ever. The psychology of vaccination. While science continues to advance, one major challenge remains: trust. Some people fear vaccines because they misunderstand how they work or have read false information online. This fear is natural after all. Vaccines deal with our health and our bodies, but misinformation can be dangerous. To build trust, scientists and governments must communicate clearly and honestly. People are more likely to accept vaccines when they understand why they are safe, how they were tested, and what benefits they bring. Transparency, education, and empathy are key. Vaccines work best when everyone participates. Each vaccinated person helps protect not only themselves, but also their family, neighbors, and society as a whole. That's why understanding and communication are as important as technology. Lessons from the past. The history of vaccines is also a story about human cooperation. When smallpox was officially eradicated in 1980, it was the result of global teamwork: doctors, nurses, scientists, and communities working together across borders. It proved that humanity can defeat even the deadliest diseases when it unites around a shared goal. The COVID-19 pandemic reminded us how fragile life can be, but it also showed what science can do when the world collaborates. Vaccines helped save millions of lives and gave hope during one of the darkest times in recent history. A safer tomorrow. Vaccines are not just medical tools. They are symbols of progress and unity. They show that human intelligence, compassion, and perseverance can turn fear into protection and death into survival. Every shot given today represents years of research, testing, and courage from scientists who believe in a healthier future for all. As we move forward, the mission remains the same: to learn, to trust, and to protect together. Vaccines are not magic. They are science at its best. And science, like hope, only grows stronger when it's shared.